What's happening, YouTube? You are in the building with the Avengers of Life Games. We've got the homegirl, the sister Muchella, who hangs with the fellas. Moochie, how you doing?
Hey, hi.
And then you've got the living legend himself wearing a wonderful shirt. American Heroes. That Rosa Parks on that shirt.
Man, where did I get this from? I think it was like the Life Gains store or something like that.
If you want one of those, you can go to shoplifegains.com and get one. If you want this beautiful Chadwick Boseman, the rightful king of Wakanda t-shirt, the rightful king, you can also go there as well. Or you can check out E-Man's store. He's got them in there as well. Lady and gentlemen, we're here to discuss Snowfall Season 4, Episode 4. I want to get you guys' quick thoughts before. We got another one. We have Nita, the real diva, is in the building. Miss Nita, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How's everybody?
We hanging. we hanging like fruit on the tree. That's how we doing. So, Nita, I was just about to ask the crew as we introduce everybody. Shouts out to everybody who's watching. Be sure to subscribe to everybody's channel in this link. And right now we've got 15 people. Give me 15 thumbs up. Nita,
I like that.
A quick 30-second synopsis of how you felt about the episode. Oh, there you go.
It was tragic. Tragic.
The look on her face says it all. I mean,
I have no words.
Nobody else in Hollywood gives such facial expressions other than Angela Bassett and Nita the Diva. Did you I felt the pain on Nita's face when she said that.
I just watched it again. That's why it's so fresh.
Larry, 30 seconds. How did it make you feel, my brother?
Oh man, excited. It really was making me excited for the rest of the season. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I guess we're spoiling everything tonight. So, you know, the fact that Leon's bodyguard, I mean, not Leon's dude, but Franklin's bodyguard left him, I was like, oh, snap. I was like, dude was like, this is as far as I go. So I'm going to leave it right there. That's as far as I'm going.
Okay. And I got a point for that, too. My folk, Muchella, who hangs with the fellas and the diva now, 30 seconds how you felt about this episode of Snowfall.
I liked last night's episode because it started off shooting and it ended shooting. No, it did. I'm just saying, right? It started off shooting.
Moochie's an undercover thug, man. I think she was a gangster in her past life. You know,
Moochie ain't pulled no punches with it. She was like, it started out shooting, it ended shooting, and she took notes in between. Oh man.
You know? So Moochie used to be a Zulu warrior in her past life or something, man.
I know she had spears and Canucks. Spears and Canucks. Ladies and gentlemen, before we deep dive, pretty much we're gonna go, I'm not gonna say scene by scene, but as close as possible. Let's just kind of recap some of the thrilling moments that made you sit on the edge of your seat from this past episode of Snowfall.
These good people right here. Hey, come on, man.
Lord have mercy. Lord have
mercy.
When we get to that section, I might have a hot take that might make y'all mad. And I'll give you the premise of it. Even though Leon shot that little girl, I still don't think it was mostly his fault. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I'll explain my position when we get there. I promise.
We don't know he shot her.
The little girl's dead.
We don't know it was his bullet.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I mean, I gotta think it was his bullet, though.
I'm assuming it was, but you know,
I mean, did you see what he got
about that car?
Yeah, man.
They was justified. They was shooting on them first. Right.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. How is it that you're gonna roll up in a car knowing you have a little girl and her mother in the back seat, And instead of just hitting the gas, driving away, you just stop the car code, pull out your gun, and start shooting. That's just not smart. It's not bright. It's just not bright, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got our first comment. It's Darla C. I think Leon was trying to take care of Scully to show Franklin he can take care of boss deals. Larry, I'll give that one to you first. What do you think?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with him thinking about trying to impress Franklin. I think he was simply doing it because, one, he's angry. He wants some payback because they, because they came after him and shot up his peoples, including what's her name? The toothless crackhead chick. I can't remember her name right now. Wanda, right? So I think he was up there trying to play Vision and just get a little bit of revenge for that. But if he impresses Franklin, I don't think it's gonna hurt. I still think that Franklin and him are gonna end back up together. They keep on pushing them back together story-wise, anyways, because Leon's up there getting shot up, and these people are going after him, and now he's getting ready to be in the middle, or already in the middle of a shooting war with Scully and his people, and then on the other end, Franklin's bodyguard just left him. And Franklin's bodyguard was bringing all those people down from Oakland and folks to work with him, and so he's basically lost his little army. So he's gonna need peoples.
Yeah, definitely. All right, my sister Muchella, I'm gonna take the first comment to you, and we're gonna start from the very beginning. So the very first scene that started this Snowfall, like you said, was action. You got Wanda trying to hawk her tooth. And remember last week when y'all tried to play me when I said that tooth was going to kick the bucket? The tooth has kicked the bucket. She's trying to hand it over to the tooth fairy. So you got Wanda trying to give up that tooth for some money. Leon pops up and he gives her a little something for it. Then right around the corner.
No, he didn't give her anything for it. She tried to hand it to him and he didn't take it. And she looked at him like, what? You bought it? You don't want the tooth?
No, he didn't want it. No, he didn't want that tooth. Right around the corner, you got a Cuba Gooding and Scully looking to see what's going on, creeping. Next thing you know, bam, Wanda is screaming and hollering. Cuba Gooding and his crew is just guns ablazing, drop top in LA. And nobody in Leon's crew died. The person that, I'm not even going to say died. The person that got shot and is in the hospital currently is Wanda. And from there, Muchella, the floor is yours to expand on that particular scene.
She saved them. When she yelled out and gave that warning, she let them know it was going down.
Mm-hmm.
So she was out there trying to sell that too. I'm just saying.
Neither the Diva, what was your thoughts when you first saw this hit the fan?
I just think Leon owes her. I think he's trying to do something towards that, but they definitely owe her. And then also too, the person that was the cart that was driving the cart, I think they got shot and killed too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Larry, give me your thoughts, man. What was you thinking when this show opened up like this, Larry?
I'll tell you, I was surprised. I mean, it's rare when I watch TV nowadays that anything surprises me. I pretty much watch stuff and figure it out. This one actually threw me through a little loop because I just thought that like maybe Big Dude was gonna get shot or one of his other crew was gonna get shot. I did not see Wanda getting shot. That was the farthest thing from my mind that she was getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
So that one threw me through a little bit of a loop, but people may feel that Leon owes her. I'm not sure that he really owes her more so than I think he actually loves her, because the way that he's treating her right now, that's not someone who's treating someone that they owe. He's treating her like someone that he loves. And I wouldn't be surprised if somehow through the course of this story, she gets clean and they end up back together.
I think, Larry, we're all hoping for that because she's not dead. No. She's in the hospital. They didn't establish in this episode that she was dead. As more so they established she's made it to the hospital. And I'm with you. But that was a hell of a way to open up an episode because I didn't predict that she would get shot either, but she did. Now here we go to something I did predict, and I told y'all it was coming. I think everyone on this panel saw it. Franklin having to pay and give up them goodies to Tanosse, and nobody on this panel trusts her ass.
No,
but here's the thing.
Me neither.
Here's the thing with her. Did y'all pay attention to how when they was messing, her phone kept ringing and a voicemail was left. Mm-hmm. And then what eventually got Franklin up out of there was a page, and y'all remember who that page was. Nita, I'm gonna reverse the wheel. You get first cracks at this one.
Okay, I got a lot to say about this.
Let's do
it. Larry actually planted the seed last week. I kind of picked up on it a little bit, but it was definitely a glaring. They are trying to say, don't trust this girl. Like she's trying to be at the club. She's trying to be everywhere he is. Now they screwing. I don't trust her at all. So I hope he got his head in the game and not thinking with the wrong thing. Because he's gonna have to watch her.
Well, he most definitely put his head in the game. I can tell you that. It's just a matter of is he thinking with the big head? Muchella, I'm gonna spin it to you.
He thinking with the little head because he ain't listen out for the answer machine. I'm gonna say I would just put it out there.
That's right.
She was saying what happened. She was giving a 411, whoever that was. It was a shootout, and so was still mopping up blood. How you didn't get up? He didn't even want to climb out of it.
Muchella, wait a minute. Muchella,
he's doing the downstroke.
Muchella, wait a minute. Moochie, wait a minute.
But he didn't know it was his people's involved. He just knew there was a shooting. He just heard there was a shootout, but he didn't know it was his people's.
He know the block is hot. He know what's up. Come on.
I mean, Muchella, see, that begs me to think that, boy, she must got that fire down there because if you done lost all your sensorium to pay attention to outside things like that, boy, she putting a nail on you. Larry, I'm gonna give it to you, but before I do, let me shout out Family Dad, who has started the Super Chat train. I thank you, my brother. You know how we do on this channel. Every bit helps. We are so grateful. Thank you for coming through. And right now we've got 60 people. Please give us 60 thumbs up, 60 likes. And we've got 2 wonderful YouTubers up here. Subscribe to their channels as well. Larry, you get a bite at this apple now.
Yeah, man. He needs all the background investigations he's done on other people. He needs to do one on her. He needs to do a serious deep dive on this chick because I don't trust her. I'm not. I mean, the fact that she's sleeping with him kind of strays me away from the fact that she's actually law enforcement, that she's a Fed or something. But I think she might be a snitch. Like I think she might have gotten herself into trouble. And she's actually a paid informant or something now, or an informant that's working on a deal. Because I'm not to say don't get me wrong, it's not like I've ever been a drug kingpin, and I know that cops will sleep with the people that they're investigating. Maybe they do, I don't know.
They do.
So if they do, then maybe she's just or an informant. One of the two.
Gotcha.
And part of the reason for that is she's everything that she's doing is so strategic. It's like she shows up at the club just at the right time in the right place. And then, that's on Franklin for her going over to her place that when he got into trouble, but she made herself fully available. She happens to know just the right people that can call to get information about Scully. I have a homegirl that knows so-and-so that can know so-and-so. And then she shows up at the club asking for a job and gets it, and has, what's her name? Louis trust her to take and work there for a while. She's gone. It seems like she has resources in the background behind her, guiding her, telling her, this is where you need to go. This is who you need to talk to. This is what you need to say to get all this to happen. These are all things that feds do. Like we saw, what's his name getting that? Like when we watched Judas and the Black Messiah, They were guiding him. They were telling him what to do so he can gain trust and get in there. And it seems like she's getting that same sort of guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
If I'm talking to everybody in the chat, if you think she's the police, put a little cop emoji. That's what I want to see. How many is on the same pages of? Put a little cop emoji if you think she's the police.
Now, if y'all don't know something about Muchella, she is the emoji queen. Back when we was doing Power, she hurt my feelings the way she was going in on my favorite professor on that show, but I'm not even going to bring that back up.
You told me not to bring it up. I'm trying to stay here.
I know.
I'm not even trying to bring up the other thing. I'm not even going to say it. See, I'm being real good today.
Mm-hmm. Katrina Johnson. Thank you. Every little bit helps. We really appreciate that super sticker, and we're very grateful. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen.
Super chat.
See, spill the see, Moochie. Moochie said, put in a cop.
I said, if it's put a little police woman, if y'all think she's
that's great,
boy. Y'all are ridiculous.
That is great.
Yeah, I was trying to be good. I didn't mention it.
You didn't. Nobody's holding this. You're not Leon in this situation, Muchella. Here we go. The very next scene we obviously knew exactly who was paging Franklin when he was knee deep in some you know what. He shows up at the hospital, meets up with Leon. They chit chat. They go back and forth about what's going on, what has happened. Someone tried to hit on him, and Franklin's basically saying what we're going to do about it type thing. So now, Larry, it's your turn to go first. Give me your synopsis of this scene breakdown. When these two met up, they still kind of seem like they're giving each other the cold shoulder to some degree at this point.
I just have to say that, first of all, Leon's fro is still the scene stiller right here because, my God, that thing is perfect, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had enough hair to fill in my little gap that's back there. And then I grow out a big old fro.
All you gotta do is get you some soul grow.
Give me some soul grow.
Get some soul grow.
I will say in this scene here, I was hoping that they would come together in that moment, and they didn't. But I feel like they're both softening up a bit. I feel like they, in that moment, even though Leon was like, nah, man, I'm about to go do my own thing, step off, whatever. I feel like he had softened up a little bit. And I feel like the next time they have a meeting, meeting that they might actually be able to get together. So we'll see. But it was good that Franklin showed up. I mean, they both have to feel bad. I mean, I know Leon in one respect is saying this is your fault that they came after my people, but at the same time, he can't be, because he's not completely innocent because Wanda was there strung out as a crackhead because of the stuff that he got her hooked on. So,
good point. Good point.
I mean, nobody there is innocent. So I think at that point, they all need to say, look, we need to present a united front to the world so we can make it through this.
Nita, thoughts on this particular scene?
I think, it's ego that's keeping them kind of distant, but I think they're going to, they don't have any choice but to link back up. And I'm thinking that's exactly where it's going. Shout out to Leon with that fro.
Yes,
that is looking nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're going to get back together. When I looked at the previews to the next episode, definitely it looks like a choice has to be made. So we shall see.
That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched it already, I've already done the trailer breakdown for the next episode. Take a look. I slow the camera down. I get some stills so that you guys can really get context of what might happen. Mooch, it's on you. What did this particular scene leave you feeling, leave you taking notes about?
Well, since you said that, I feel like right when they walked off, I thought they was going to talk about linking up.
Okay.
And then I know he's saying it's his fault that they came after him, and they playing a blame game at this moment. But I was kind of disappointed that they didn't link up.
Okay.
Because he already needs him for product.
Right.
Remember, he's still not getting his product or whatever. And he needs them now because they need to go. I feel like if they would have linked up to do it to find Scully, it might have panned out better.
Okay. I mean, I can rock with you on that one. Now, I'm going to need y'all to really break down this next scene because it involves Teddy. And what in the world is going on with Teddy? Teddy's involved with this gentleman right here. They had a little discussion. Some money's come up missing. Teddy is frustrated and acting like a crackhead. Larry, I pass the baton to you first. Moochie, you'll be next. Nita, you'll be last. What is going on with this right here, Larry?
Honestly, I think Teddy's going to need to seek some medical attention. I think he's hurt. I think part of the reason why he's like that is he is physically injured. If you remember when he pulled up his shirt and you saw the bruises from where he got shot, because people often think, oh, you get shot with a bulletproof vest, you just keep going like you're a superhero. No, you get shot, it will knock you down and it hurt. It just doesn't penetrate and kill you. So, dude, I mean, people say you can get shot with a bulletproof vest on, and it'll break your lungs. They say it'll crack rib, or not break your lungs. It'll crack ribs and puncture lungs. And so, for all we know, he might be running around with a punctured lung. Because dude is jacked up. All that bruising is a result of some bleeding under there. So, but I thought the interesting thing about this scene is they're really like letting us see how truly international all of this drug, how much the drug game in LA and other places really is. Like growing up, you always see it on the news and they always made it seem like it was just a bunch of young black street thugs out there. And then you see this and you realize how international it was, where you have CIA agents working with former Mossad agents that are now arms dealers, making arms deals with, with terrorist groups and I guess they were in I don't know what they called it back then, because I don't think they even had a Palestinian territory. Maybe they were in Egypt or somewhere, since it was Hezbollah. Maybe it's Egypt or what's just on the other side over there. Anyways, whatever's over there. It really just showed how truly international all this was. And I mean, I don't know if they're gonna talk much about it, but I thought this scene was fascinating. And I know that Teddy's basically getting ready to come after what's his name, because he's like, look, do a financial deep dive on this dude. I want to know what's up with his finances, because he doesn't trust him at all.
Muchella, where were your thoughts on this? This guy right here is funny to me, though. He's funny. He's entertaining. His character is entertaining, but
the thing is, I think this dude's straight up legit. I think he's honest. I just think he's just getting over.
I think he's too, but totally he's funny. But he's funny. Yeah, like I agree with that, but he's funny. Muchella, thoughts on this conversation and Teddy and this gentleman?
I think Avi already owes money to her. Whoever he owes the money to, whoever Avi owes the money to, they was getting ready. They was putting their foot on his neck. So he had to do what he did to Teddy.
You think that's what happened?
Yeah, because remember when he borrowed the money from Franklin?
I do, but that's 15 mil. You think he owed somebody 15 mil? He was willing to spend the CIA's 15 mil?
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's suicide.
I mean, it's your money or your life. That's what it is right now.
Right, but he would have been better off. He would have been better off going to Teddy and saying, look, Teddy, this is my problem. If you want me to keep the guns flowing, this is a problem I need you to solve. He would have been better going to the CIA with that problem than trying to screw over the CIA.
Well, I guess he was like, I'd rather risk going to jail than risk getting killed. So, Nita, what was your thought on Avi and Teddy's conversation about the missing money?
I thought it was interesting. I do think Teddy. I was just about to say white people bruise so bad. But I don't know. I was just like Larry said, I think he's really hurt. He might be really hurt. He didn't really show any signs of it, but at the same time, you just got to keep your eye on it. But I was just about to say the guy reminds me of Lobos. Like always have that that comic or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's animated. He's fully
Yes,
animated. I mean, you don't have to go watch the Anatoons to see anything animated more than this guy right here. This guy is fully turned up. I'm interested to
Thanks,
see.
Timothy Tyson. He was giving us Beirut, Lebanon in there. I couldn't remember who borders,
Yep.
who boarded them. So thank you.
He's all up on it. All right, people, we moving on beyond those two in that conversation. Now, this meeting of these individuals was funny. And Nita, we're coming to you first. So we've got Leon and Fatback. They met an old Jack Lev, Shade Tree private investigator who got his mom up in there working. And the brother, I was iffy about this brother, but you know what? He did his job. So,
yeah,
Nita, I want to say to you, what was your thoughts on this scene when they met with this Shade Tree private investigator who turned out not to be a Shade Tree private investigator?
He might be getting in over his head.
That's a good point. Good point.
That's what I'm thinking. But he was funny though. I thought they made him when he was in that car though. But
I thought so too.
Right, he was lucky.
Mm-hmm. Muchella, thoughts on the private investigator and the conversations that was going back and forth in that office? Man, this was a funny scene.
I'm going to lunch. Ma, it's 10 o'clock.
Moms wasn't dumb. She saw them two dudes rolling in. She knows what's what. Moms was like, I don't want to hear anything that's about to be said in this office right now because I don't want to be subpoenaed.
Right. So Larry, how did you feel about the introduction of this private investigator? It ain't Professor Jabari, I'll tell you that.
Nah, I was cool with it. I thought it was a kind of cool scene. I thought it was a good move on Leon's part to hire this dude. You know,
exactly.
Very smart. I'm not sure if it was the best move on Leon's part to go there himself, but I guess he didn't have anybody he could really. I guess he didn't really have a surrogate he can send there and trust. So I guess he had to go. But I mean, if something ever comes up with that investigator, you would want to have a little bit of you want a little bit of distance between you and that dude. So if somebody said, "Hey, who sent you? Who paid you?" You could just say, he can simply say, "Well, I don't know. The people paid me cash, so I don't have a name," you know. And if Leon's not one of them, if they go and they try and say, "Was it this dude?" and they say, "Nah, he wasn't one of them." But I mean, you do what you have to do, I guess. So I mean, I think this guy. I mean, they spent too much time with him for him not to come back up. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
So I mean,
here's the
problem.
Probably
gonna find out who he is.
It's like, Larry, is he gonna die, or is he? I just feel like he's gonna get sucked up into this mess one way or the other one.
Honestly, I don't know. I think he might come back up and work again when I think he might end up working for Franklin, because I think what might happen is that when Leon and Franklin finally get together and they start talking about going after Scully together, and Leon says, "Hey, I know where he's at, blah, blah, blah." And Leon asks him, "Hey, how'd you get this information?" He's probably going to tell him, "I hired this private investigator," and Franklin's probably going to turn around and use the dude, you know, okay. Because he's going to need it when he's dealing with the business dude. He's going to need someone that's going to keep eyes on that dude. He's going to want to do some checking around on him. Maybe he'll use a dude to check up on that girl, you know? So
he might, but we'll pause it there and we'll talk about this scene right here involving Franklin, his mama, and their new benefactor / network. Now, obviously this brother's got money. And what stood out to me was when he tipped this gentleman who is about to graduate, that caught Franklin's eye. And I think Franklin, and me and Larry, we talked about this last week. Franklin seems like he wouldn't mind having a mentor out here on these streets for his legal stuff. But I found it to be kind of crazy, even though this guy knows what's going on with them, that they would divulge exactly how they're moving their money, backdoor skills in the organization. Muchella, I'll give it to you first. What did you think, or how do you think this is going to end with Franklin and this brother right here?
Okay, Paul Davis, that's his name, y'all. And I think he's gonna take. I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping. He takes him under his wing and kind of school him. But I
Okay.
think, but they remember the husband said that he was a snake. So
Right.
he gotta basically still keep another eye on him.
Yep. Nita the Diva.
Did y'all see the way he kind of looked at Franklin? It felt like he rolled his eyes at him when he said something. He gave him like this stern look. Did y'all see that? Did y'all catch
The
that?
waiter?
No, the guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He kind of gave Franklin this look when they was breaking down their organization.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not like he knew that they was doing something in the street. But I don't think that the mama should have just said, you know, we've got an offshore account and we funnel it here, then it disappears here. You never got to worry about being involved. She could have just said, you know what, we've got this thing super layered. Don't even worry about nothing. Now, I mean, I feel like he's got something to hang over their head if they decide that it's strange bedfellows. But we'll see. Larry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Were you talking about Tanita Diva?
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
So, I mean, two things about this. First, Lamont, I totally agree with you. I think that when the dude first walked up, the waiter, I think Leon, I thought I saw something different. I looked at Leon looking at that kid, and Franklin. I thought that he was looking at him with sort of a sense of I want to say almost envy, where he was looking at that kid and seeing what his life would have been if he had stayed on the straight and narrow. Like, he was looking at this kid like, damn, I was a prep school kid. I was smart. I had all the opportunities to just play it straight. And yeah, maybe I would have had to work as a waiter in a country club like this guy, but I would have been on the path of graduation right about now. And my mom wouldn't be worried about me and all the other stuff. So I think he was looking at this. I think he was looking at that kid with sort of seeing what his life would have been if he would have taken an alternate path, the straight and narrow.
Gotcha.
Now, as far as his dealings with this businessman, I think it's okay that they let him in on that segment of their business, because honestly, I think that's just one way that they launder money. I think they probably have dozens of shell companies, and they're probably laundering through multiples. And so for them to give up one, if he goes off they just shut that one down and they shift it to something else. But I think he was looking at Franklin, and I think he was impressed, to be honest with you. I think he was looking at him maybe with a little bit of like, well, damn, I wasn't doing all that when I was your age. I had no idea about all that. I'm still like, he looked at him like, I'm still learning about this stuff now. Like, you guys, I'm supposed to be the big cheese up here. You guys are coming to me for all this, and you guys are schooling me on how to move money, So yeah, I think it was one of those things where it was, I think they're both they're trying to both play that hard role and be stern negotiators. And I think both of them probably need each other, because he needs their skills and they need his connections.
I can agree to that. Now, this is the scene that made Moochie laugh, and it made Nita feel like somebody was getting caught. So we got old Cuba Gooding Scully out here with his crew, eating, having a little meal, a little midday lunch, whatever they're doing. And we all thought that they saw the investigator looking at them, because they set the investigator up like he was a Jack Lev, he was a Shade Tree private investigator. So we all thinking he's going to get caught. In the end, what they was looking at was this big booty right here. Moochie. I give it to you first. Did you get some comic relief from this scene, or did you feel relieved to know that they didn't bust the private investigator?
I thought when he was walking over there, he was coming to the car just like the PI thought. I saw, oh shoot, he coming, and then they was like the girl with the booty.
Yeah, she sure enough got that, don't she? Dressed like 1980s. So, Nita the Diva, how was you feeling during this scene?
One track mind. That's all. That's all y'all see. One track mind.
Wait a
you
minute.
go right past PI to her. And it seemed like he saw her from a long way down the street. Like he scoped her from like almost a half a mile away.
He was watching the front and the back.
Hey, it's a lot of coverage, Moochie. Thank you very much. That's a lot of coverage right there on that street. Larry, what was going through your mind during this scene?
Honestly, I was feeling the same way. I thought they were about to get dude. I thought they were about to run up on him. And I was up there, I was practically screaming, dude, drive away, drive. And then I noticed he's in the passenger seat. And I was like, oh, this dude's a straight up G. Like he came, like we saw him in the office looking like he was a little sort of, poo butt investigator. I was like, I think this dude might be legit.
Right.
Because dude had ice in his veins. He was like, I'm gonna sit tight and let it play out and see what happens. And it worked out in his favor. But I was like, I would have thought that you would have been ready to take off and get gone.
Yeah, he sat through there, and he was the only male that wasn't looking at all these hind parts walking across in this scene right here. He was the only male. He stayed true to his job, so that's why I said, Larry, in the beginning when we first seen him, we're thinking, oh, he's a jacklib, but you know what? He showed that he's doing his job in this scene, and it was
delivered
funny.
The goods.
He did, man.
He followed those dudes and had them at 3 different locations without getting caught up. I mean, dude knows how to do his job.
He can do. Hey, I hire him if I ever start feeling like I don't trust somebody. I hire him quick. He got my vote of confidence. Now I'm gonna give this to you first, Moochie, because this scene it was heavy. So you've got your boy Gustavo. He's in here having an argument that eventually leads to him trying to hand over some money. Boy. Moochie, break this scene down for me and let us know what was going through your mind when this scene was going on after the heavy episode Gustavo just had. And then we get him in this.
When I first saw the scene, I thought it was his partner, the girl that he was with before. And then I had to look at her face real good. Then I realized it was the other people, the people that got killed, sister.
Right.
Like she doesn't want to take care of her sister's kid.
Yep.
And but it looked like she was gonna have a change of tune when when he put the money down.
There you go. There he is handing up a roll. How many dollars you think up in that roll, Moochie?
It was a couple of thousand.
Okay. I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. I think he handed her a whole 100,000.
Gustavo's a rubber band man.
Yeah, man. Larry, what was you thinking during this scene?
Man, I was thinking like that was raw, man. It was just raw and sort of visceral. When she was like, "You think I want to raise my sister's kids like this?" I said, "But you think I wanted to do?" I'm like, "Damn." It's like, I mean, she was saying things that people usually don't say out loud, but I mean, I feel her. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of life she's living and what her situation's like. I'm assuming since he's over there handing her a roll of cash that she's living on the straight and narrow and not doing the whole drug thing. And so I imagine if that's your life, you're like, look, I was living my life like a normal everyday person so I can avoid all of this. And now I'm having to deal with the fallout of it. I don't want this. I felt bad for her in some respects, but at the same time, I'm kind of like glad, like maybe this is best for the kids, Maybe the kids aren't going to grow up around this. They're not going to have birthday parties where you have Lucha Libre wrestlers coming through and all, but maybe they'll just have normal parties with a couple other friends and a cake and call it a day, and they'll grow up and go to college and get a good job and instead of trying to be like their dad or Gustavo or something.
Yeah. In the midst of everything going on, that scene was pretty heavy. And, picture Gustavo and what he's going through mentally. From coming home and seeing $100,000 ransom for some kids in blood, then you got to go kill this guy, and now you having to listen to her kind of ramble a little bit. It was tough, but I mean, Gustavo's a real G. That's why his name is Gustavo. So I mean, that's a good storyline they got going with him, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just anxious to see where they're gonna take him next. Before we move on, let me shout out everybody, all 80 people, well now 90, who are watching this stream. Be sure to subscribe, and every person in there, please give me a like and share with friends who watch this show. And be sure to subscribe to Larry, Nita the Diva, and Muchella's channel. Links are all in description. Here we go. We hadn't talked about this chick, but y'all know we got to talk about Irene there at the office eating her sandwich. Then she goes, has a little meeting with this lady right here. Nita the Diva, you get it first. Thoughts on Irene and this conversation?
AKA Jabari.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just like, she is obsessed.
She is.
She is. But you know what? I really think that she might end up being the saving grace, even though I want to say that it could be, you know, she could be going down the same path as Jabari. For some reason, I think that she's going to actually come out on top. Tim said she had a death wish. I think she might and break the story. I really think the tables may turn and she will be able to expose the government for what they're doing.
Okay. Moochie, what are your notes telling us about this scene?
My notes is telling me her days is numbered. She's like, you know, Nancy Drew, like, you know, she's doing too much snooping. She already pissed the father off, so he seemed like he's already on to her. Because remember when she came to the shelter,
yeah,
he was like, "Don't come back here."
Mm-hmm.
And
it's because she knew too much information. She knew the type of information that the father's been locked up. So he know when the police or the feds or someone's pursuing you, he know the type of stuff they say. And she was basically sounding like a fed.
Right. He was like, "No, you're gonna get your Nancy Drew behind out of here."
He got her up out of there. Larry, Irene.
I like her, man. I'll tell you. I mean, I worked as a photojournalist for a number of years, and you know, and watching her in the newsroom like that, because I was back in the old days, man, and it was fun. It was like being back in there and seeing and watching her is, man. If you ever have a chance to work for a newspaper, which most people won't anymore, and you get to see an old school journalist like her just get their teeth into a story, man, they become obsessive, and it's awesome to watch. It is a lot of fun. But honestly, if this story is supposedly based off of a true story, we know that the reporter lives. He breaks the story in, and so we know that if they're gonna follow the true storyline, that she's gonna be okay. You know. So, but
if she breaks the story, she gonna die just like the real guy did.
But that didn't happen until after
suicide.
But that wasn't until after.
Well, right. She's gonna die.
Right. Moochie said, either way you look at it,
man, now
it's a death wish.
Or she gonna die with the closing credits.
But you know, the thing is that reporters killing a reporter in this country is a lot, and maybe even worse than killing a cop in some respects, because if you kill a cop, you have that department that's going to come after you. If you kill an LAPD officer, the LAPD is going to come after you hardcore. If you kill a reporter, and it turns out that this reporter was investigating something that had to do with the government, you're not just going to have that paper coming after you. You're going to have every other competing paper because it's a story, and then it's going to break national. Now you're going to have national reporters from everywhere focusing in on this story. In a lot of ways, when the government finds out something is like this has happened, they would probably rather say, "Hey, let's protect this reporter instead of going after him, because it's just going to break." Like you see, like some people saying Gary Webb committed suicide. People suspect that he didn't commit suicide, and look at his story; it has never gone away. I mean, the FBI, the CIA, the DIA, they would never have given up this story, and it has never gone away. They're making TV shows, they're making multiple documentaries. Their agencies' reputations have been slammed across the world. And if they just simply would have protected these people and said, you know what, we can't tell you this, let us give you something else. Maybe this wouldn't have happened to them. But
okay. Well,
messing with the media is very, very dangerous.
We'll move on past Irene because me and Moochie's all on the same ship. She gonna kick a bucket.
I like her. I don't want to see her go out. I like her.
Just because I think she's gonna die don't mean I don't like her character. Hell, I like Lois Lane from Superman. I mean, so no, I'm
on my nerves.
I'm down for a little Irene. I bet you do.
She already got 2 warnings. She got the warning from she got the warning from her ex-husband, like, you need to stop messing with this. Mm-hmm. And then she got the warning from the cop where he said, look, this is as far as I go. When somebody say that on this show, that means something now.
It's like supposed to.
2 different characters. He said, this is as far as I go.
So now I'm going to give this one to you first, Larry. So now, as we're getting through the episode, Franklin meets up with Teddy. And like we said, Teddy's kind of real in here. He's battered physically. He's battered mentally. And him and Franklin have a good little sit down. Larry, break this down for the people.
I like this scene, and I know some people may dispute this, but I really believe this is one of those things where you see how much he actually really likes Franklin, and he respects Franklin to a certain degree. He may understand what Franklin's doing is wrong, what he's doing is wrong, but he likes Franklin. And you hear that, and when he says, look, I could give you a number, I can give you a date, but it would either just be, completely made up and full of crap, or it would just be wrong. I mean, he was basically just telling, there's no way I could possibly give you a realistic date. But he was telling me, so the first sign, of this thing ending, you'll be the first one to know.
Okay.
And that's about all you can hope for, so. But he did seem like he was a little nervous because when he first sat down with him, he said, oh, is this that talk where you say it's not you, it's me? He was like, it did seem like he was a little nervous that Franklin was about to say, hey, I'm out the game or something. And so I'm wondering if he's thinking I need to start looking for a backup plan to Franklin.
Gotcha. All right. So before I move it to Moochie, shout out to Philly Girl LM who sent us a wonderful super chat, $4.99. We greatly appreciate it. We can't say thank you enough for these super chats. They make our hearts warm and our feet melt. And we're just glad that you continue to give us these super chats. And while you're in there, everybody hit that like button. That don't cost you anything. But we do enjoy the super chats, and we do give funny videos when we're not doing a review of a TV show. Nita, the conversation between Teddy and Franklin, what was going through your mind?
It was very telling to me. I still think that Teddy is trying to tell Franklin without telling him. And so that's why I think that there is some respect there. And, I don't think that he'll double cross him, but the government, you got to kind of watch out for him. But I'm glad that Franklin is thinking about an exit plan. Because he definitely needs one. However, I don't, he said if he get a smoke signal, he'll give him one. So
that'll work.
Do you see how they try to contrast those two, where you have Teddy looking all worn down and beat up and all bedraggled with his clothes disheveled, and Franklin's looking all G'd up in a suit, taking him to a fancy places. I just found that contrast sort of interesting there.
I mean, hey, Wakanda versus America. What can we say? Moochella. It's on you now, Moochie.
He already gave him a warning. If you try to slip out early, this is not gonna work well for you. Not gonna work out. He gave him a warning. Did y'all see that part?
Yeah.
And I feel like he should stop telling him what he wants to do at this point. Once he told him that, now you can't let him know what you're doing. Even if you do plan on leaving.
Mm-hmm. So so you saying there needs to be a veil between the two at this point in time?
Yeah, now
Yeah, too much.
because I'm afraid he might end up going to jail. But like he might end up screwing him and Gustavo.
Yep.
Well, Gustavo's gonna end up dead, I think.
I do too. I hate and I hate that. I'm very fearful Gustavo's gonna end up dead. I am.
Yeah, Franklin.
This
I think
season?
Franklin will live through this, but Gustavo's gonna end up dead.
This season?
No,
not this season.
Before the show ends, I think Gustavo's going out.
Yeah.
I think that would be like if that would be one of those things where if they say maybe they're trying to stretch it out for an extra season, I think they may say, okay, well, let's kill Gustavo off this season. That'll give the people something to freak out over. I think that might happen. But I think if it happens, maybe next season, because this is the 4th season, 5th season, they'll put him in the syndication. So maybe next season they'll kill him. But I think that I agree with Moochie in some respects that he needs to stop telling his plans. But I think in this scene, he wasn't really telling him his plans so much as just saying, look, I understand why you're doing this. I understand your motivations. And I understand that my success is connected to your motivations. And so I just want to be prepared for when you're no longer moving forward with me, when you no longer have this war to fight. I want to know so that I can make other plans with my life. And I don't think that he's saying I want to be done with you. More so as I just want to make sure that I'm protected when this is done, when you're done.
If you're planning an exit, it's not going to end well. That's when but I'm glad he mentioned the part about expanding on top of that. So that way he's letting him know, all right, well, since you're not going to let me leave now, I'm going to figure a way out where I'm off the streets, but I'm still bringing in the money.
Well, with that expansion, I'm going to let you go on, Lamont, because I had something else to say about the expansion, but I think you might be getting ready to touch on it. So,
yeah, we'll be getting there to that scene in a second. And what I got to say about that scene ain't got nothing to do with the expansion. It's got something to do with who wound up having their ass in that club. Lord have mercy. I was trying to give that girl a chance, Larry. You remember, I was trying to give that Tanosse a chance, and you know what? You done fully hooked me now. Hook, line, and sinker. You done called a 200-pound bass. Because I don't believe nothing that. I do not believe that chick no more. Now, in this next scene, Anita, you're going to get this first. Fatback and Leon show up at the hospital with the homegirl who has been shot. She probably still got that tooth in her hand somewhere. That tooth might be good luck. And Leon is just, he's chilling out. He's about to sit down and just kick it with her because, like Larry said, there seems to be some deeper feelings there. So, Nita, tell me how you felt when they showed up at the hospital to be at Wanda's bedside.
I know the Fatback. He ain't want had nothing to do with it. He like, I'm gone. He left up out that joint real fast. But Leon definitely showed some compassion and definitely Wanda probably tugged at his heartstrings. She looks like a damn corpse. Like, ugh.
Yeah,
man. Get her life together. Oh my God.
Now Nita, everybody can't be a diva. Moochie, it's your turn, Moochie. Lord have mercy. God.
Oh.
Her tooth is in the cup on the nightstand.
Oh, you saw it?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I'm just saying.
I had to look. Man. I see the little cup. No, that's what they give you pills in. Larry, take this thing, man. These women on this show, man. I don't know what to say about them, Larry. They'll get you in trouble if you don't watch them.
Mess people's teeth up. Crack messes them up. People that do all that meth, they walk around looking like those little Apple Core dolls that people used to make. Drugs mess you up.
Like a
the thing that got me about this hospital scene, right, was, I mean, there were two things. One, I saw that Leon wasn't there just because he felt responsible or felt grateful because she yelled out and helped him duck in time. I think there's some deeper feelings there. I think he's feeling a little bit of nostalgia, maybe some love, some residual love there from their previous days together, and he's sticking around. That's why I say I wouldn't be surprised if she got clean and they ended up back together at some point.
Yeah.
But The thing that struck me about this scene is we see these guys and we think of them as such badasses that are running around shooting people and gangsters. But at the same time, they're so innocent. They're innocent kids who just don't know about the world. They know about their little block, their neighborhood. They're so innocent. It's like, here's Leon. He's thinking, oh, I'm a big timer. I have this money in my pocket. I can pay to keep her here. And he just doesn't know how anything works. He stops and talks to a nurse and tries to hand her a bankroll full of money. And she looks at him like, what are you doing? And just walks away. She's like, ugh, just walks away. And he was like, what is that? You know? In fact, I guess to tell him we need to go talk to the to the people that I don't know what they call it at that hospital, but they need to go talk to the people about the money, you know?
Yeah, but before they said that, they mentioned how hot that nurse was. I mean, I'm just saying, you know.
She was hot.
She was cute.
She was blazer, no joke. Yeah.
Just had to throw that out there for the people.
She was, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But it was just, they were so innocent in that moment where you have these kids that are here and they think, okay, let her stay in the hospital. If I just hand some random nurse walking through the halls a bunch of money, that it's going to get to where it needs to go and then she'll be able to stay. They have no idea how things work. You know?
Yeah, man. All right, people, here we go. I'm going to give this one to Larry first. Larry, this is them talking about expansion. We finally got to see my old cousin Jerome, the bodyguard, and Louis. Now, I still contend that Jerome, I just feel there's a distance coming between him and Franklin. And they do it in a subtle manner. But when he started talking about how they want to expand, the uncle really wasn't feeling it as much as Louis was feeling it, because Louis got connections and Louis has been an integral part of Franklin's business. So Larry, I want you to break this down for what were your thoughts as they was having this conversation about expansion in the middle of all this heat?
I'll tell you, there's a couple of things. One, I think the rift between Franklin and his uncle, it's already there. He's not saying much in an aggressive way, but it's already there, and it's gonna be a bigger problem for Franklin coming real soon, I think. And we got to see where he's saying, and part of it is too, is we can see how Jerome just doesn't truly understand the situation that he's in, the situation that Franklin's in, and who they're dealing with. Like he's telling Franklin, just go tell the white boy to deal with Scully and Man Boy, and so we can get over this, and I can go back to my shop. He doesn't realize you can't just go tell the CIA what to do. You can't tell the CIA, go fix my problem, just go run my errand, little lapdog, so my uncle can get back to his day job. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. And I think he's really feeling this sense like, I didn't sign up for all this. I didn't sign up to be in business with the CIA. I didn't sign up to be in the middle of a big gang war with all these people. I didn't sign up to expand to 20 other cities all over the country. I didn't sign up for all this. I want to make enough money that I can have my rim shop and hook people's cars up and have a nice little life with my girlfriend. And now he's weighing over his head. He didn't murder somebody and all kinds of craziness. So, I think Unc is either going to have to, I think he's going to have to get taken out or something. I don't see him leaving Franklin. So I think the only way it's going to happen is he might get gone. I didn't think he was going to get gone until I saw that scene. Now I'm thinking like he might be the one that gets gone at some point.
See, last week y'all called me crazy when I picked up on that thing. I told y'all. Now y'all seeing it. Moochie, it's all yours.
Remember, we talked about him last week. He just wanted to sell his little weed and have a nice, quiet life. Now that he have his little stereo shop, he's like, I've arrived. This is as far as I want to go with this. He's gonna be one of them people too. Like this is it. This is where I start. But he doesn't want to leave because now his sister's involved too. So he's gonna still stick with it, but he's gonna play the shadows.
Right. Nita the Diva.
I think Franklin, he need a new squad like fast. Like everybody is like either dropping off. They got rifts everywhere. Like he don't have. I mean, his team. I don't know how you move and you don't have your muscle. You don't have, you know what I'm saying? It's just like he's lacking too much. And I think
He doesn't have a team. He has Louis and his mama. That's it.
right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, he needs some more people.
Right.
He needs some more people because
We need more people.
right.
Yeah. All right. So after that, we've got the scene that I was just got finished complaining about because boys get on my nerve. Louis reveals that she done hired Tanosse for that club. Boy, Nita, you get it first.
That's a bad move. And that's the move right there that showed me that she's trying to be the 48 laws of power, law number 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy. I think what she is doing, she's strategically placing herself everywhere that Franklin could be. Now, I don't know if she's like a plant for the CIA, for them to know exactly what he's doing, just to kind of, they don't want him running all willy-nilly. They need to know the moves that he's making. So I think that might be what it is, because I almost thought it could have been from another gang or something like that, but we don't see no other gang. So I think she's some kind of plant that's just trying to keep eyes on Franklin.
Gotcha. Moochie.
I don't trust her. When I saw that, I was like, what's she doing here now? Like, I don't trust her.
Mm-mm.
I don't trust her. I'm surprised Louis trusted her, but only reason why she trusted her because Franklin slept with her.
Right. That's what she said, too. That's exactly what she said. Larry, you picked up on this first. You was the first one to say, I don't trust that chick. Take your victory lap.
Yeah, I don't trust her. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is just me. This could be wild speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if she works for the DEA, because let's not forget that they killed a DEA agent, and then the CIA was able to get that stuff covered up and get those charges dropped. So the DEA is still going to want payback for that. So I would not be at all surprised if they either put an agent in there or they put an informant in there so that they can build a case against him. Because they might be like, look, maybe we can't get him for the other stuff, but if we build a case against him, we can go ahead and take him to court, and the DEA and the CIA will just have to suck it up. They'll just have to be like, look, we can't protect you anymore because they have too much on you. And if we say something now, it's going to be we're implicating ourselves. So I think it might be that she's working with the DEA to build a case that they want, because they want revenge. I mean, their dude got killed and nothing happened.
Yeah.
All
right. So we'll plug it there. We are unanimous. Nobody trusts Tanosse. She might be good in bed, but we don't trust her. Next, we've got the proof in the pudding that our little private investigator knows what the hell he is doing. Not only did he get pictures of Scully and his crew without even knowing Scully's real name, he gets Scully's real name. He gets pictures of Scully at 5 different locations, and he also gets to find it out that Scully goes to his grandma's house often, which we find out is the drop point for his money. But what was funny about this scene, Leon and Fatback discussing damn near the plan that they're going to use to take out Scully in front of the private investigator. He had to shoo him out. Muchella, what was going on? What was going on?
I do not want to hear none of this. I don't want to be no parts of this.
Like how are you going to be a criminal and tell the private investigator what you got to do?
I want to go back to the first scene when he said, "Do you know his Christian name?" He's Catholic.
Right. Right.
That whole scene had little some kind of little slapstick going on.
Yeah, the whole thing was funny. And like I said, this right here shows that this PI know what he's doing. Nita, what was your thoughts on this scene with the PI and the evidence he found against Scully?
I think he did a good ass job. You know, I thought he didn't have it in him, but he brought it. He brought it. He brought all the proof. If they trying to hit, they know what to do. They know where it's at. They got the government name.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he shoot him out of there because he want plausible deniability. He don't want to have to, if he has to testify or do anything, he was like, I don't want to know nothing. Get on out of here. You got your stuff now. Get on. Get on.
Larry, you get the last word.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you,
Oh, my goodness.
it was funny when they were starting to discuss it. He was like, that seems like a conversation you need to have outside or something, you know. I mean,
man. Get the hell out of here telling me how to rob a bank with a gun. Get out of here, man.
It really goes back to that whole thing about how these kids they're just kids. They're so innocent. They just don't know any better. They just don't know any better because they're just so innocent. They don't even think about it. It's so ridiculous. It's like little babies trying to live in a grown man's world. And I mean, I don't know. To me, it seems like it's so easy if they go and kill Scully at one of those spots and any DA decides they're going to investigate. It seems like if they find out about the investigator, it's just not going to be that hard to tie it to Franklin and Fatback because it's just, it's not like there's any sort of you know, what do lawyers have with their clients? He doesn't have any confidentiality with them. I mean,
they do sign a confidentiality waiver, and the only way they can tell on their client, they have to be subpoenaed in court.
But that's the thing. If they subpoena and they take him to court and they ask him, what was the job that you did for him? And they tell him, and then he tells them, yeah, I followed this guy to these locations and this is where, you know, and then it turns out one of those locations was where the dude was killed. I mean, it's going to be pretty easy to pin the murder on him. But I mean, I still think it was probably a good move because I seriously doubt that it's ever going to come to that. But I think it was a good move because trying to follow those dudes. I mean, we saw what happened the moment that they went to just go recon one of those areas, and during that recon, the dudes got rolled up on. You know, so
yeah, we'll pin PI right there. It ain't Magnum. We'll just call him PI. Now this is scene Larry was talking about earlier. Franklin's muscle said he wanted out the game. And he went down his history with the military and the things he's feeling, things he's seeing. And then Franklin gave him an impassioned speech and said, I'll double your pay. And believe it or not, Larry, I'm going to disagree with you. I think that we're going to see the muscle stick with Franklin. So having said that, I give it to you first.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I think I might have to eat my words on this one, but I think dude's done. He had that look on his face like, man, you're killing our own people. It's one thing, you're killing our own people with drugs, you're killing our own people with guns, you're just killing our own people. I can't be a part of this. And when Franklin was like, you know, I'm gonna double your salary, but you're not gonna leave me right now, I think dude was like, no, my mind's made up. I'm out. He had that sort of resolute sort of sense about him. Like it was a hard decision to come to, but I came to it and I'm out. And I don't think he's coming back.
Moochie, I give it to you. I hear everything Larry said, but this type of cat just seems like he just needs to be led by somebody. What do you think? Is he gone or is he going to be back?
I think he's gonna be. I don't want him to be gone because do you remember who this guy is? What show he used to be on?
What show?
The Wire.
Oh yeah. That's right.
That was Statham. So
okay.
I want him to stay around because I want to see if they do start to really go to war. I want to see how it happens, how it pans out. But Franklin looks scared now. Now that he know this dude is leaving.
Yeah, that's
the other guy, Peach is gone. I don't think he's coming back.
No. Yeah, Moochie, I don't think this guy gonna leave, but Nita, I'm gonna give the last word to you. Is he gonna go? Or is he gonna stay?
I think he gone.
Ooh,
I really do.
ooh,
Because he seemed really, really, really conflicted, and he did not like what he saw. I think he was firm in what he was saying. He ain't never backpedal. He ain't never like no. So I think he's gone. And Franklin is on a sinking ship. Cause
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what is
He
you
is.
gonna do?
You better
Yeah,
go back.
man.
You better go back and make up with Leon.
I'll
You
tell
know
you
what he need to
he needs
do?
to go
He
hire
need
Too
to
Big.
go. He need to go recruit some of them people from Power. That's what he need to do.
That's what I was saying. He needs to go hire Too Big.
He need to get Too Big. He need to get Tommy and probably go and get Tariq to do all the running. He'll be all right. All right, people. We're getting to the home stretch of this. We've got 2 more subjects to cover, then we can get out of here. So Irene comes home. Sees a white guy, mysterious white guy in her house. She doesn't go grab a weapon. She basically tried to tongue lash the guy. Come to find out, the guy has valuable information that he wants to hand over, and basically tells her, there are some high-level people trying to cover some shit up. Larry, I'm gonna give it to you first. Thoughts on this scene?
Yeah, this was a great scene, man. I really like this one because she had been looking for this dude. She had been calling everybody. She was working every single contact she had and kept coming up with dead ends, could not get a hold of this guy. And then he just shows up on her couch. And
Right.
that was a fantastic scene. And, he really just gave her just a straight information dump. He was like, here's everything. But it's your job to prove it, So, that's one of those things. It's like, you hear about people saying, I'm going to help you, but not in the way you want to be helped. I'm not going to court. I'm not testifying. I'm going to give you everything you need to take down everyone, but you're going to have to prove it,
Yeah.
And so, you're giving them you're giving the person a head start, which is great. So, I thought this was really cool.
Yeah,
I think
man.
the fact of bringing the whole DEA thing back up and back in, I think is going to tie in with what's her name, Tanosse or whatever her name is, the little hooker chick that none of us like.
Okay. And Nita the Diva, you get it next.
Not a hooker, Larry.
I ain't heard that since 1979.
Ooh. Yeah,
I'm not even sure you were alive in '9, man.
Well, I seen it on Sanford and Sons. What you call was calling somebody a hooker and a sucker. So I seen it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that this is the third person that's giving Jabari information.
Oh.
And this is the end of the line for me. So I don't know. I can see it going both ways. I actually can see the story getting out, but I still see her dying for exposing whatever. She's gonna have to suffer the consequences because they're laying it out right there. They laying all the seeds that, like, Jabari, you doing too much.
Mm-hmm. And Jabari, what happened to Jabari on Power, Nita?
Pow.
Boy, Moochie, your turn.
Man.
Look, this is a death warrant right here when she took that whole file. Because he's like, I want you to follow it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna follow it to the end, all right?
Yep. It's gonna be a 6-foot ending if she keep on playing around. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
somebody in the comments said that Tanosse is her daughter.
I saw that, man. It's hard for me to believe that. It's hard for me to believe that. So,
well, she got a black she got a black husband.
I don't know about that, Nita. I'm with you on Irene being Jabari, but I ain't with Tanosse being her daughter. I ain't say that. I can't see that. But I would like to know who is her daughter because there's a distrust. They don't like each other, whatever the reason. I would love for them to possibly bring that up somehow, some way. We might see it. But in any event, we're to the last segment, and it was the ending crescendo, man. So we get Scully people pulling up beside Fatback Leon and the crew. This brother right here, CJ, he gets murked. So we didn't lose Fatback, but this guy, he kicks the bucket. And along the way up across this crossfire, Scully's people, who we find out, and I'm not going to tell you how we know, this little girl dies who happens to be related to Man Boy. Also, not only does this little girl get clipped, but man, damn, did you had to kill the ice cream guy? I mean, y'all just don't know how valuable he was in the hood where I come from, because we couldn't get to the store quickly. So we had an ice cream guy come through in the truck. He kicked the bucket too. Nita, I'm gonna give it to you first.
The little girl was related to Man Boy?
Yeah,
man. Yes, sir.
I didn't catch that part.
That's
his niece.
This girl is his sister.
Yeah,
That's his
man.
niece.
Yeah.
Wait, why is his niece rolling with Scully people?
Because she's sleeping.
Scully is his baby. That's his baby mama.
Yeah, right.
So that's his daughter. That's Scully's daughter.
Scully's daughter. That's Scully's daughter right there.
So Scully's daughter is Man Boy's niece?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this woman holding the daughter is his
Man
sister.
Boy's sister.
Yep.
Oh, damn, that is some ancestral stuff they have going on there.
Oh yeah, man. And so who am I on? I'm on Nita.
Me.
I'm giving to you, Nita.
Yeah, like I said, it was tragic. And the way that they set this story up, this is going to be so explosive how everybody is involved. They have everybody interweave. We have Man Boy and his people. Then we got Scully and Franklin is just in the middle. Leon is in the middle, and they're just like, this is just bad all the way around. That's why I don't think it's really a good time to be trying to expand, because they got to get a foothold of what's going on. This is like catastrophic. This is not what they want. This is terrible.
And Moochie, I give it to you. If anything, Nita, I think that if what you might want to do is just count your chips, get your money together, and just move and go away. Just forget just forget LA. Just move away. Send your balls in your court, Moochie.
Okay, I was at first I thought the ice cream guy was gonna be in on it when the scene was starting.
Oh yeah,
that.
Somebody was in the snow cone thing.
But then I was like, okay, he's not with it.
Yeah.
But I feel bad that Leon shot up the car like that, and he felt bad. He looked like he was kind of traumatized by it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good acting.
But they pulled out first.
Right.
They did.
Yeah, they drew down on him.
Yep. It's like I said, I agree with you, Moochie. You can't blame Leon for trying to defend himself. Right. I mean, that's, I saw some comments, people saying Leon was stupid. And I said, how was he stupid? They rolled up on him with guns. And the people driving the car knew good and damn well you had Scully's child in the car. Why get in the shootout? Come on, man. Larry, last word go to you.
All right. Now this scene, I had a problem with a few things. Like, one, why are you gonna sit there just side by side and just shoot it out like that? I mean, everyone's gonna end up dead or shot up or something. Why not just pull off?
Hold on, Larry. I said that in my trailer breakdown. Let me tell you what some asshole said to me. Some asshole said to me, obviously, I don't know the streets, because they have shootouts like this where people just pull up and just stay part. And I said, I don't know what hood you come from. Where is it, Mars? Last I checked, it don't matter what kind of a thug you are, what kind of a G you are. Somebody roll up on you with a gun, you might pull your gun out, but you're still trying to get the car in motion. But finish your point, Larry.
Yeah, you trying to get out of there.
But now there's a few things with this scene. One, Leon, and I know this is gonna sound cruel, y'all, but just hear me out. He should have bust that girl in her head. He should have finished the job, because he shot up everybody. That whole car was dead except for that girl, and she saw him.
Messed up.
He should have put 2 shots in her head, because now he left the witness alive. She's gonna go back and tell Scully and Man Boy, and now both those crews are gonna be looking for him.
Right.
So
good point.
She should have killed him. And the other thing that was jacked up Why? How come Fatback couldn't put his boy in the back seat? Why do you have to pick his boy up and throw him and leave him on the street? I mean, for a couple reasons. One of them is just sort of mean and cruel. Like, damn, you just threw your boy on the street and left
The
him.
sirens was coming.
But the other thing is, you picked him up, you threw him on the street. Now, when the police take that body and they go identify him, they're gonna be like, "What hood is this dude from?" They're gonna know who to start looking for. You know? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, come on, Fatback. It wasn't like you need to be gentle with the dude. He was dead. Pick him up and just throw him in the back seat.
Like,
I'm assuming because they left the other dude in the back seat. It wasn't like they were rolling around with, you know what? They wanted to roll around with only one dead body in the car instead of two.
Yeah, that's it,
you
man.
know?
That's it. That's it. You can't be rolling around with a daggone multiple body hearse. What the hell, Larry? Come on, man. Golly, Larry. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our review for tonight. We can't wait for next week. This was a really, really good episode. Be sure to like our video, comment, subscribe, check out everybody's channel. Their links are all in the video description. And hit us up. We will be back live tomorrow. I haven't figured out who we're going to be beating up and talking about tomorrow, but hell, we'll be back. So until that next Sex is Hell video, mask up, get vaccinated, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.